Well, and so why relocate to Clovis, California from the Bay Area? Well, hello everyone. This is Rufy Alday, your community ambassador for anything real estate here in Fresno, Clovis, California, and the surrounding Central Valley communities. And today in this video, we get to capture a new unique perspective from a Filipino immigrant that immigrated to Mountain View, California in 1969 and now reside in Clovis, California since 1985. So it is a perspective, not but I'll be able to capture 8 unique perspectives, if you will, why those over 30% are now moving from the Bay Area and migrating to Clovis, California, about 3 hours south. So stay tuned to the end. Reason I get to also provide you some insight that will help out business travelers setting their schedules so that they'll be successful in growing their business here in the Fresno and Clovis, California area, or actually Central Valley or Clovis, California. But otherwise, it's just a tight window. I know we get criticized not only the weather, it gets too hot, but a lot of people, I'd say over 30%, we're only 3 hours away from the beach, whether we go to Pismo, to the Central Coast, Morro Bay, Cambria. So a lot of our Clovis residents have actually bought property on the Central Coast to get away from the heat. So there, you get a lot of the options. And again, this is a perspective, not people can handle the heat, nor they can handle the allergies. If you have allergies, Central Valley will not be for you. And we'll have challenges with that. So extreme heat, not for you. Nightlife, don't have an extreme big nightlife. Although culturally, we do have great options in that we're only within an hour of the Sierra Nevadas, skiing, the lake. So if you're outdoors minded individual or family, it's a great location. Again, we're centrally located throughout California, make it easily accessible to a lot of options. Yosemite's only like an hour and a half to the base. Again, why people don't move down. So, and quick summary, why do people from the Bay Area migrate to Clovis, California is affordable luxury. The average medium home at the time of this video is over $500,000. In the Bay Area, what I call a 4X variable, it's gonna cost you about $2 million. Especially in Mountain View, which our team has sold in that area, and it's remarkable by my old high school, St. Francis. Lancers, go Lancers. I just can't afford it up there. My goodness, it's over $2 million. The lot alone at 6,600 square feet is worth about $2 million. Number 2, it's a great city to raise a family. Again, the number 1 safest city out of the Central Valley cities is Clovis, California. An incredible response rate from the police, ambulance, and fire. It's got that historic charm, small town feeling, really community centric. As I mentioned, the commute times, traffic. It's a big transition from those of the Bay Area that are so used to be on the road and in traffic for an hour and a half. We may get you home by 5, and so. But we still have a little bit of traffic, but nothing close to the Bay Area or LA when somebody deems traffic. As I mentioned, in terms of the school districts, so in terms of university, Fresno State, go Bulldogs. I'm a Fresno State graduate and one of the top business schools, top healthcare schools. Fresno State has a doctorate physical therapy program and a superb athletic training program, sports medicine, one of the top in the country, both physical therapy and athletic training. And that, as I mentioned, agriculture, business is attracting a lot of people to go to school here because of affordable education, not only affordable luxury and housing, but also affordable education. As I mentioned, big companies are, because of the fact that their employees can afford housing, you have, we're scheduled to build the second largest Costco in the country. They've been Amazon, Costco, Tesla. We are attracting some big corporate names into the Central Valley. As I mentioned, because also the transportation is now accommodating to the needs of the business travel and migration and attraction to Central Valley. As I mentioned, over $129 million have been invested in the airport. Not too many people are aware of that, and that now it's easier, so much easier as a business traveler to go from the Bay Area to the Central Valley to LA, and nonstop, like I mentioned, to We've got nonstop flight to Las Vegas, nonstop to Dallas, to Atlanta, Georgia, to Phoenix, Arizona, Chicago, LA, Phoenix, Salt Lake City, San Diego, Seattle, San Francisco. And like I said, the limitation is we just unfortunately have only connecting flights on a high percentage of time from here to San Jose, and that takes 3 hours. So I recommend driving, but watch the fog. Like I mentioned, that Thule fog is ground fog, and it is thick and at times a safety issue to drive. So schedule those meetings late in the afternoon or late morning. Allow that fog to burn, because it is the fog in the Bay Area doesn't even come close to how thick this Thule fog is here in the San Joaquin Valley. And last but not least, as a summary, the heat. We will have extreme temperatures about May, June, July, especially August. That'll peak over 100 degrees. So if you can't handle the heat, definitely not recommended, but very short term. Also, that's an area not good for allergies, just the way the valley sits. And a lot of our Clovis residents actually will purchase property, I'd say over 30% onto the Central Coast, like those in the San Luis Obispo area, Cambria, Morro Bay, and we're only about 3 hours away. So centrally located to the Central Coast, centrally located to the Bay Area and LA, and a great area to raise a family. So if you, again, be sure to subscribe at the end. And if any of this information piques your interest, please DM me the word Clovis. I'd be glad to help you. Again, this is a perspective of a Filipino immigrant that's immigrated to the Bay Area, fairly aware of the Silicon Valley and Mountain View, and now resides here in Clovis, California, 3 hours away since 1985. So hopefully that sheds some light and perspective. And feel free to reach out. Be glad to, again, provide you any information you want here in the Central Valley and give you some insight of how is that transition from the Bay Area to Clovis, California. Be glad to help you, because I have been there. God bless you all.